actor Don Cheadle is in a little bit of trouble after he said that he wished that Obama were more gangster during an interview with Jet Magazine. Now, he didn't really clarify what he meant by that. And of course, Jet Magazine wants a little publicity, so they kind of blew that up and made it a huge story. So he felt like he needed to go to Twitter and clarify what he meant by his comments. So first, he told Jet Magazine, Barack Obama inherited an impossible situation. I wish he had not been so much of a consensus seeker. I just wanted to see a more gangster president.
All right, well, that does clarify it a little bit. In fact, I think it clarifies it a lot. I bet some people are still very much angry at him about that.
That actually wasn't his clarification. That was his original statement.
Oh, I see.
So that's
but then I think that it is fairly clear. He means he wanted him to be tougher.
Right.
I agree with you.
Well, he says people took that comment, and I should have thought about the fact that he's a black president, and saying that you wish he was more gangster is probably something that people would take offense to. So here, let me clarify what I meant even more. And I think his second statement, it hits the nail on the head. Okay? He says, I want to see somebody go to jail over the financial crisis, and not just black, brown, and poor whites over humbles and minor drug beefs. I want the president to bail out homeowners who fell for the okie dokie from predatory lenders and are 2 seconds from living on the streets or are already there. I want him to stand in the front of the haters and go all Bill Duke on them and say, you done fucked up now, don't you? I kind of want a gangster president. I was about to write that in the future. I would choose my words more carefully, but I'm sure I won't.
I love that last line, too. Look, I got what he was saying from the get-go. I also get the concern, and I'm glad that he further clarified it, although I think it was pretty clear from the beginning. But, I say not guilty, but it's, easy for me to say because I largely agree with Don Cheadle. J.R., thoughts?
I feel like this is along the lines of people don't understand the terminology. So they're just going to go with, oh, what do you mean gangster? I don't know if you put gangster with an A at the end, or if it was gangster. I mean, it was in print, right? So it was whatever way they decided to type it. But then again, like you said, you had the clarification for people who maybe didn't know. And for the people that don't know, it's not their fault. Fine, they didn't know. They're thinking he's talking about he wants them to jump out of a 1934 gangster car and shoot him up with a machine gun. I don't know what the thought process is. But who are the people that were offended by it? Opponents of Obama? Black folks that are like, we don't want you to, portray our first black president as a gangster? I don't know. But it sounds like it's reaching, I think. But maybe just because, like you said, you understand where he was coming from.
Right. Look, it depends on the context. It really does. I know conservatives hate this when you say this, right? But if Rick Santorum, who says, like, oh, black people are taking your money through welfare, if he says, oh, Obama's a gangster president, okay, well, then he's coming at it from the wrong place. But when Don Cheadle says it, and within the context of even that first sentence, saying he's in an impossible situation, I wish he had not been so much of a consensus seeker. I wish he was more of a gangster president. Within that context and knowing the political opinions of Don Cheadle, which we know are progressive, etc., you understand the context and you think he obviously doesn't mean anything racist by it. He doesn't mean anything disparaging other than the fact that he's being critical of the president for not being tough enough, which is, I think, an incredibly fair criticism and one that Matt Damon has made and didn't, other than the fact that people agreed with Damon, that didn't cause much of a ruckus. Now, again, Damon didn't choose those words, but Cheadle, within his context, I think is perfectly free to choose those words.
Yeah, definitely.
And by the way, gangsters, it's not like Cheadle used the N-word. You know what I'm saying? It's not like something enormously offensive. Anybody could be a gangster.
Right? Yeah, I think of you as a gangster all the time. Gangster of talk show news.
Oh, please.